Hi, today I'm speaking to Kevin Crawford, who is the founder and charity coordinator at the Big Disability Group, who offers advice and information to people living with disabilities. Thanks very much for speaking to the Clydesider today, Kevin.
No problem.
What kind of support have you been able to offer people during lockdown?
Well, we've been able to provide a wide variety of support. More or less as what we provided before. We cover all disabilities and all age groups, so we provide support covering any disability, any long-term condition, any kind of support you're looking for. But as the lockdown kicked in, obviously we had to adapt with things closing down and finding out new things, what was open, what was available, what people were working on, so that we could pass on that information.
You ran a lot of monthly meetups before restrictions, and you had a lot of face-to-face contact with people that came to you. So how are you managing to engage with people now and getting the information that they need? How are you getting that to them?
We've been sending out information, leaflets and newsletters with food parcels around West Dunbartonshire, all over West Dunbartonshire. So a lot of people that aren't on social media are able to still get in touch with us.
What's the biggest thing people are struggling with when they've came in contact with you during lockdown?
Mental health is one of the things we're working on just now, because it seems to be a really, really big issue, and it has been throughout the whole thing. But as lockdown took longer and longer to kind of come to an end, a lot of people's mental health has got really bad. So even although restrictions are lifting a bit now, the damage is already done with the mental health. A lot of people were getting in touch with us saying that had been isolated before the lockdown, and saying the only people they had actually had any contact or anybody to talk to was the people delivering their food parcels. And apart from that, they had nobody to talk to at all. So we were getting a lot of calls from people that just hadn't spoke to anybody for weeks and weeks, and were just looking to have a chat and offload.
So obviously you've responded to those calls, Kevin. I believe you're making up boxes.
It's our mental wellbeing boxes. It's just a few bits and bobs to help people, give them something to take their focus away from their thoughts, having something to do. So we have a journal here where you can keep a note of your day-to-day, good days and bad days, and what triggered the bad days, and what you felt triggered the good points, so you can sort out what's best for yourself. We have a Keep Calm and Relax CD. We have art therapy through colouring in and pencils. A wee fidget ball there when you're sitting feeling anxious or nervous. And our newsletter, the Big Disability Group newsletter. We're also putting in a list of contacts, so that if you're sitting at night and you're having a bad time and you really need somebody to talk to through the night, there's contacts here where you can phone and speak to somebody and help you get through the night to the next day. So there's a few other things, bits and bobs, but that's kind of the main idea about what it is.
How do they access these boxes, Kevin, if they've not got social media? Where would they get in contact with yourselves?
You can call us on 0141 237 4560, and you can also email us at thebigdisabilitygroup@gmail.com, or you can get us in touch with us through our website, which is www.thebigdisabilitygroup.com. They're getting in contact with us because we're putting out our newsletters all over West Dunbartonshire. This gets through all the food parcels. Food for Thought, West Dunbartonshire Food Share, have been putting them in all their food parcels for us. So it's getting it to a lot of people that aren't on social media, so they're getting in touch with us, looking for contacts and several inquiries. And some of them are asking for the box, but with anybody that calls now, we ask them, would this be any help to you, our mental wellbeing box? And it's been an absolute great success. We've been overwhelmed with the feedback already. It's just been unbelievable.
And what kind of things have people been saying that have received the boxes? What kind of things have they been saying to you?
Well, what amazes us is something so small like this has made such a big difference. When people are left to their own thoughts, and they have a lot going on, or nobody to share their problems with. Just the slightest wee gift, a kindness, for something to take their mind off of things. And I think just knowing that there's somebody out there, there's people out there that they can get in touch with, that they're not alone. But the feedback's been absolutely brilliant. Folk are getting back and saying that the journal will be great, that they're sitting up at night doing that when they're feeling a bit anxious and using their colouring books and things like that. The journal, they're using that to keep a note of things, like I said. No, it's there for. There's also a wee list for like goals for the week now. So set yourself wee goals and tick off what you've managed to do and what you've not managed to do, things like that, and you can keep a note of that in the journal. So, but everybody that's got in touch with us has been really overwhelmed with the box. It's made a big difference already. We're absolutely overwhelmed with the feedback.
What would you say to anybody that was struggling to contact you, that maybe felt judged? What message would you say to somebody?
Don't be afraid to contact us. Everything is confidential. It's all private. Nobody will ever know what went on with the conversation with us. Like I said, a lot of people don't realise how much support is out there. When we first started this, a lot of people didn't have any idea how much organisations and groups were out there. Now they do. If they get in touch with us, like I say, we cover anything. There's an organisation out there that ticks every box near enough. So if they get in touch with us, we can cover any support they're looking for. Don't be afraid. It's all confidential, and we'll do our damnedest to make sure you get the right help first time. That's what we make sure we do.
That's great, Kevin, and it is amazing that communities and organisations have came together during these difficult times. And I thank you for your message. I hope that you delivered there, and hopefully enough people will see this who maybe need those services and they'll contact you. Thanks again, Kevin. That's great. Thanks very much for speaking to us today, Kevin. Take care.
No problem, Angela. Thanks for having me. Right, thanks.
Thank you.
Cool. Bye.